You are listening to Shaoni, Born from the Light, by Iowan, read by Kevin M. Connolly. Chapter 12, A Letter in a Book. Have you ever tried to make sense of your life? Did you ever try to figure out if there was a deeper meaning behind it all? And if so, did it get you anywhere? Ever found the big answer? As so many others, Aniola too had once gone in search for the big answers. Here is what he found. Once there was a letter in a book that had gained consciousness. This might surprise you, but it shouldn't, because this was a very special book, a magical book even, some would say, for all of its letters were conscious of their own being, quite unlike the letters of an ordinary book. The degree of consciousness of these letters, however, was only limited, as indeed they knew they existed, but they didn't know they were part of a book. And what a book it was! A book filled with words, beautiful words, with sentences expressing ideas, beautiful ideas. Yes, a wonderful book it was, a perfect book even. And the letter was part of this book, an essential part of it even. But this the letter did not know, and so it came to be that one day, trying to understand the essence of its existence, the letter set off in search of the big why. Why am I? Why do I exist? What is my essence in life? First it asked the letters left and right, but they didn't seem to know either. Then it got off to walk across the page, then further even, to experience the other pages. Finally, all over the chapter it went, all of the time asking the other letters if they knew. But none of them knew. One day, on one of its many voyages, it heard about some letters who had a higher understanding about these things. They were called the Grand Letters, not because they were bigger than the others, or because they were standing at the beginning of a sentence. No, on the contrary even, most of these letters just blended in with the others, not having any specific particularity except maybe that they felt at peace with themselves and with all around. So, our friend the letter set off in search of one of the Grand Letters to ask it about the essence. It traveled for a long time, page after page, until one day it arrived at one of the Great Letters. This one was called the Great E, and as I already said, it didn't have anything in particular except for the fact of knowing and being in peace. When asked about the essence of life, the Great E looked up from the page it was on and said, with a calm and serene voice, a voice that seemed to come from the center of the book itself, "The day you will understand the true essence of who you are is the day you will understand you are part of something bigger, something I have come to understand as being called the book. The day you understand, I mean really understand from within that you are part of this book, is the day all of your questions will be no more." After this, the Great E went silent again. The little letter didn't understand a word of what the Great E had just said, and insisted, "What do you mean? What is that book? Where can I find it?" The Great E once again looked up from its page. "But my dear letter," it said, "you cannot find it, for you are in it yourself. It is all around you. You are part of it, and without it, you wouldn't be complete. The essence of your existence can only be understood by seeing it within the context of the book of which you are a part, an essential part even, for without you, it wouldn't be complete." "What kind of an answer is that?" the letter said to itself. This isn't leading anywhere." The great E seemed to have heard its thoughts, however, as it said, "Nobody can tell you the essence, for words will not explain that what has to be experienced from within. If someone tells you what it is, do not listen to his words, for he will bring you no answer. So, go now, my dear little letter. Go back to your home page and live your life, not only looking outwards into the world, but also looking inwards into your heart, for that is the place where you will find the answer to your question." Later that evening, the wizard came up to the boy and said, "For most people it is hard to see who they really are. Tell them that in essence they are a light being, and they will stare at you in disbelief. Tell them they are part of something bigger, and they will revolt, in fear of losing who they think they are. Yet how did the drop of water come to understand? Only in feeling the ocean did it understand its own essence. So tonight, my boy, just before falling asleep, go to your center and imagine. Imagine once again how you are a drop, but this time float into the ocean and come to understand that your real power, your real essence, can only fully be understood from within this ocean, an ocean of love. Live this feeling. Live being the ocean. Or you can imagine being a letter experiencing its own essence, by understanding it as part of the most incredible book ever written. Imagine this book. Imagine the wonder it contains. Then come to realize you are a part of it, an essential part of it even. If you have felt this, you will have felt the essence of your life, and you will have felt it from within." "It sounds very hard to do," Shaoni said. No harder than any of the other things I've asked you to do before," the wizard replied. "If you think it is hard, always remember this. It is your mind telling you that it is hard. It is your mind that is in doubt. But your heart knows. Your heart doesn't doubt. And your wizard within, oh, imagine his joy when you finally understand." Thank you for enjoying this chapter of Shaoni, Born from the Light. To hear more of these stories, please visit www.shaoni.net/audio. If you prefer to receive all of these stories in print, visit www.shaoni.net/book.